Just trust me.
It always annoys me with you because I just know something's going to work, okay? Like freaking pretty much I had Joey Diaz was going to come on the show. He's like, yeah, whenever I'm in town, just come over there and we'll talk about it. And you would not go to Joey Diaz at Capital City Comedy Club. I'm like, dude, bona fide. He basically said he'll be on the show. He just wants to make sure I go in person so he doesn't think I'm some kind of nutcase.
Okay.
He just wants to meet me. That's it. You wouldn't buy a fucking ticket. I'd beg you every fucking day to go buy a ticket, and you wouldn't. You're like, I know you weren't going to end up buying it. I wish you just told me straight up in the beginning, I'm not going to buy his fucking ticket.
But I told you earlier, I was like, I saw some of the stuff on YouTube, and I didn't think it was that funny, but I didn't get it.
But I'm like, Tony, look, it's only going to cost us $25, okay? And look at it as $25 for a chance to get a big name on the show.
Right.
That's funny as shit. I don't give a fuck if Joey Diaz is funny or not. I like the guy, and the fact that he comes on our show is a big deal.
I know, but you got a lot of hit. You've been listening to this guy for how long?
Well, I remember back in the day, like when I first started the podcast, before Joe Rogan had a podcast.
How long is that?
Like 2006 or I think it was like 2006.
You got some big, like, you know this guy somehow.
Well, I know him. He probably don't know who the fuck I am. I remember standing on a I call it parapet in India. I don't know what it's called here.
Just make up a name.
Like a ledge, kind of like. Okay. There's the comedy club back in the day in Houston. It was.
So you stood up on a ledge to go see this guy?
No, he was there with Joe Rogan, and nobody knew him back then.
Who was still? It was
Joe
Factor,
Rogan.
Right?
Yeah, Brian Redban was there, and I was talking to Redban. I was talking to Rogan, and then that other comic from Last Comic Standing. I forget his name. I think Rogan had a falling out with him. He had his own podcast. I forget the guy's name. Anyways, it was me, Redban, that guy, and Rogan talking. And then Joey Diaz walks outside. And I was so embarrassed to tell Rogan about my podcast back then because I was like, dude, Rogan's a big name.
So clarify this. Like, who started you in the podcast? I thought it was Rogan. Someone started. Or was it Stern?
No, it was. I've always wanted to do radio. I just didn't know what to do because back in the day in college.
Stern, nonstop.
So I remember going to this college radio station, and they wouldn't put me on the air because they'd only play music at UT.
Okay.
And the fucking program director was this big, fat, fucking bearded, hairy, stinky shit right there, right? And he had no fucking talent. And he was just like
keeping it conservative and just being an asshole?
Well, he only wanted to play this fucking bullshit music on the air, right? So he wouldn't let me go on the actual radio station that was transmitting
to the
students, right? Which was what everybody listened to.
Right. So
he's like, you can, and basically it's one of those things like football practice. Like if you join this thing, they have to give you like an hour or whatever to do a show.
Okay.
So he's like, I'll let you do our online thing, and this is back in like 2000, like 99, 2000, right? Nobody fucking knew barely was using the internet, right? So the online show, like I would track it. It would have 0 listeners most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
It was just some weird fucking UT website. Like you can also listen to.
So this guy wasn't going anywhere, right?
No, he wouldn't go. I don't know what he's doing now. I don't even remember his fucking name. He just angered me. So
fuck that motherfucker then.
So they put me in this room, right, with nothing but like fucking bullshit records like that.
Oh, you got to get on it?
Yeah, so he gives me a show
talk, though, right?
on Saturday at like 7 o'clock where everyone's going out and shit. And
in the evening.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there for an hour, and he puts me in a room with just a bunch of records, and he goes, okay, play records. I said, what do you want me to play? He's like, it's up to you. Play whatever you want. So I would randomly just grab a fucking record, and these are literally like records, like the big-ass like LP records.
These are shitty folk music, or what was it?
I don't know. What it was records from basically like 1930s to like 2000, you know? But it wasn't any major names.
So
it was all
good
shit that was sent free.
Okay.
So I would randomly grab one, and I would look through, like, I would have literally like 10 seconds to switch between records. So the only people that ever listened to me, I think my parents, at one time I gave my parents the URL, and they listened to it.
You're all proud of yourself and shit.
But what I would do, I would pick a random record and just play. I would pick a song out, because I don't know what the fuck these bands were.
Right.
And literally my radio show was just like, you know how they have Jack Radio where it just plays random stuff?
Okay.
It was basically like that. It would just play random shit, because I was just grabbing stuff that the cover looked cool. Then I would pick a random track that I never heard. Like, I wouldn't even pre-roll it. Like, I barely knew how to use this hardware. I would just stick it in, play it. And the only chance I had to talk were between songs, and I would try to make a joke, like, about the record.
God, I bet you these jokes were really good.
They were all right, but the guy would always be
fucking terrible.
I would be so proud of myself because I was kind of listening to Howard Stern, so I was trying to be funny. And I would be like, "Hey, did you hear that? Did you hear the joke?" And the guy would be like, "Look, man, just play the fucking records." Dude. He was such a dick. And then
it's kind of like the Howard Stern movie, though.
And I never got my show renewed after that. I kind of didn't want to. I'm like, nobody's fucking listening to this. I can't get on the regular radio. And I had such a low self-esteem back then. I didn't even try. I was like, "Fuck it, dude. I'm a worthless piece of shit."
So fast forward to you being ashamed to having a podcast.
Anyways,
Diaz, right?
Like first time Rogan goes to Houston back in like 2004 or something, I meet up with him, and he had this thing called Joe Show back then.
Oh, that's where you said you got inspired.
So Redban was like recording it, and I tell him the story about when I was in middle school, and I just like joined football, and I was like the weakest guy there, and I remember sitting in the locker room, and these dudes started like with these huge dicks, like came out the shower and just started dick slapping me. Mm-hmm. I've told this story on the show a long time ago, back on the Men's View days. They were fucking laughing their asses off, dude. And they're like, "You're fucking funny."
Rogan, Redban, and Diaz, or Rogan, Redban?
No, Diaz wasn't there. It was this guy named Tait Fletcher.
Well, where was Rogan in this?
Rogan was the guy doing the show.
Oh, okay.
Redban was a nobody back then. He was just a guy.
They hadn't even met Rogan then.
No, guy. Redban was there. Brian Redban.
Okay.
Ryan Reichel, that's his real name. Okay. And he was just the guy that would hang around Rogan as his aide, like the guy that would help him out.
So you tell this story, and they're laughing their asses off.
Yeah, Tate is laughing at that, and they want to put it on this thing called Joe Show, which I'm like, cool, go ahead. And then like a couple days later, I'm like, look, I don't want to be the fucking dude on the internet known as the guy that got dick slapped. I'm like, take it off. He's like,
really?
So they don't even put it on. Joe's cool. I email him. He's like, that's cool, dude. Don't worry about it. And then like
but your real name wasn't anywhere on there, was it?
Yeah, but I just didn't want to. I don't know. For some reason, I didn't want that story out there. And then I go home. I'm like with my buddy Jesus. I'm like, listen, dude. There's this thing called podcasting. Like, he didn't know anything about podcasting. He's like, all right, I'll help you out. This is like 2004 or 2006.
Okay.
I forget. Whenever the show first started, Jesus and Homie show. So we started doing it, whatever. Like, into the show, it starts taking off. I'm already in fucking top of iTunes at that point, right?
Before Men's View?
No, this is Men's View.
Okay.
At that point.
It changes to Men's View.
Yeah. Or it might have been Jesus or Get Laid Radio at that time. I forget.
It was Jesus, then Get Laid, then Men's View.
Yeah. So I go to another Rogan concert, and this was back in the day when I tell people,
like,
hey,
you used to fucking put Get Laid Radio stickers all over fucking bathrooms at places. I won't say where we were, but I just remember you'd be giving me a stack of these fuckers that just
fucking the fans would put
these
in places.
Fuckers everywhere you can.
Yeah, that's back when I was like way into the show. I'm not as into fucking this shit anymore, just because I feel like it's such a long shot of taking off like it did before. But anyway, so I'm fucking big at this point, but I have such a low self-esteem, like I don't even fucking give a shit. It doesn't connect with me. Like, dude, you're on fucking top of iTunes. Like, I don't even think like
because no one knew about iTunes back then. They were all like,
but like I would tell people at parties and tell chicks like, hey, I have a radio show. Oh, yeah, where is it? It's a podcast, blah blah blah. And I try to explain, and they just like look at me like, you fucking loser.
Shit was like fucking CDs back then.
Yeah. Bro. So that would kind of make my self-esteem go even lower. I'm like, well, fuck, I'm a nobody on a nothing,
Yeah.
So I was just like, it was a bad time to get into it for me, but it was the right time, yeah.
But then Men's View took off.
But then I'm like, I go meet Rogan. They're all talking to me. They remember me from the last time.
Diaz is there.
Diaz is there, and I love Diaz from back in the day. He's been funny too. I don't care if you don't think he's funny. I think he's the funniest guy ever.
Maybe I haven't seen the right stuff.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm like, okay, I'm too embarrassed to tell Rogan about my podcast, right? So
the good one?
Yeah.
Fuck.
So I finally...
What the fuck about Joe Rogan, man? That motherfucker sucks, man. That motherfucker ain't shit anyway, dude. I cannot believe I'm sitting here for fucking 10 minutes. You're saying all this bullshit about that you were too scared to fucking go meet Joe Rogan and tell him, Joe, hey, my name is Dizzle. Guess what? I want to throw a radio show. Here's a tape. That's all you got to do. If the motherfucker says you suck, well, fuck you then, man. You just keep fucking going, man. You see, from the beginning, you started off. I remember when Dizzle came up to me the first time. He said, hey, guess what, dude? I got this radio show. It's called Get Laid Radio. Fuck it. All right. So, I fucking meet the guy, and all of a sudden he tells me, dude, you can't use your real name, so what the fuck you want to call yourself? I said, well, fuck it. I'll call myself Metalhead because since I love heavy metal music, that's why I'm called fucking Metalhead. So, you go from the fucking Get Laid Radio, then all of a sudden, 3 weeks later, Dizzle calls me up. Guess what, Metalhead? It's now called the Men's View. I'm like, what the fuck, man? And then fucking 2 months later, you change it now to fucking goddamn the fucking guy the guy spot, dude. I mean, come on, dude. Dizzle. And then you're over here saying that, I don't feel that much good on fucking podcast. Come on, fucker. You know what the fuck Mel has been doing, dude? When you gave me those Get Laid radio stickers, I would put them fucking everywhere, man. I even put one on a girl's ass one time, dude. She got so fucking drunk, dude. I was dancing with her. I pulled out the sticker. She was wearing some kind of a fucking dress, and all of a sudden I slapped it in her fucking ass, dude.
Appreciate it. But
we're actually gonna rename the show pretty soon to theguyshottub.com. Is that okay with you though? We don't like the guy spot anymore. We're thinking about just the guy's hot tub. Is that okay?
Why don't you just change the goddamn Get Laid Radio or something, dude? Why don't you just say, hey, well, why don't we just call ourselves fucking the Porn Man, dude?
What? Anyways, let me get back to my story. So, so I see Joey Diaz.
No, we should call it chicken
right?
nugget nonsense, dude.
Well, geez, man, put it like this. If I was a guitar player, right, and fucking Ozzy Osbourne was like about 10 feet away, and I wanted to play for his fucking band, I would go up there like fucking balls, man.
Yeah.
I would go up there and tell him, hey, look, Mr. Osbourne, look what I can play. If he said, fuck yeah, I want you, hell yeah, that's a dream come true. If not, fuck it. You know what?
Metalhead.
Hey, we get the fucking point.
Let me finish my story. So anyways, so I see Joey Diaz go outside to take a smoke, right? I don't think he smokes anymore, but he was smoking back then. So I'm like, fuck, this is my chance. Like, I don't have to embarrass myself in front of Rogan, right? Let me go tell Joey about my podcast and try to get him on as a guest. And he was cool as shit, dude. I told him, he didn't know, like, what the fuck is a podcast, motherfucker? Like, and so I explained to him what a podcast is and shit, and he's like, he was probably like, what the fuck is this podcast shit? But he agrees to get on it, and he gives me his cell phone number, and I still got his fucking cell phone number. I completely forgot, dude. I got Joey Diaz's fucking cell phone number sitting in my phone.
You should just not tweet, but text, is this Joey D? That's it.
No, because then he's like, who the fuck is this?
Exactly. Fuck it. That's a metalhead approch, dude.
Yeah.
You just go text the motherfucker.
I'm not the kind of guy that is going to bug somebody.
Dude,
that's
fucking text him a picture
whatever.
of your, like, hairy balls or something. And like, remember me or something. Like, something weird.
Let's do it. I think I'll do it. So anyways, I realized the other day I was looking for some guy named Joe something, and then I type in Joe, and boom, Joey Diaz. I'm like, holy shit, I completely forgot.
So you found it in there, huh?
I had Joey Diaz's cell phone number.
Should write that shit down.
Yeah, I should. No, well, it's on my Android, so like it's
probably liable to crash some point.
No, it's backed up to the cloud, so unless the fucking Earth collapses, Google will have it. You know?
Well, still technically.
So I go tell him, and he agrees he will do my fucking show, but then he never ends up doing it. Like, he has some shit, and I never end up following up. And then I was trying to get him recently, and if we had just gone to the fucking Cap City Comedy Club, we might have had him.
Exactly.
There's a good chance. He basically said he'll do it, just he wants to meet me.
Well, anyway, we're going to go see Bert Kreischer this weekend, hopefully. That should be there.
Yeah, and he better have my fucking MP3 player, I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's right. We gave him an MP3 player with the
I gave my MP3 player, and you said he almost got it.
We gave it to him.
To give to Rogan. And it was sealed up in a plastic. And I told him, hey, listen to the show, and if you like it, can you give this to Rogan and let him know about the show?
And then when I talked to him on Trip Flip, when I was getting filmed in Puerto Rico, he said, I did exactly what your friend said in the note that was with the crazy MP3 player. Basically, Dizzle gave him fucking old-ass technology.
Well, dude, I didn't want to buy him a fucking iPod, so I basically bought him the cheapest MP3 player that had a screen on it.
Yeah, we went to a Walmart at like 1 a.m. before I had my second interview. Right?
Yeah.
Or before I took off for the trip.
Yeah, so I stayed up all night editing.
Yeah,
like,
and I went to Puerto Rico the very next day on a plane, and I had that. No, it was before that.
No, it was
a second interview.
It was the night of the. You told me you got the second interview, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, then
you're gonna meet Bert Kreischer in person.
Yeah,
so I was
then
like,
you ran off, and that's actually one of the pictures right now on the internet. You know that, right?
Which one?
It's the fucking interview in the streets of Austin where it was moments before or after I gave him that MP3 player.
Wow. Okay.
It's on the internet now. Anyway, so this show is going to air 7 p.m. Sunday Central Standard Time, so figure out what time it is. You also get to see the Bonafide Hustler and his.
We got to get Bert on the show, dude.
We're gonna try to get Bert on the show. We're gonna go. We're gonna go
to his comedy show.
Yeah, we're gonna go.
And then we got to play it cool and hang out with him, whatever. But our goal should be get him to sit in the studio.
What's crazy is that the MP3 player got close to Rogan.
He got real close to Rogan.
Within like butt sniffing distance of Rogan.
Like he actually, you told me he handed it off to Rogan. Rogan goes, well, what you got? He goes, somebody gave me to give you something to you.
And he said, I don't want it.
Well, yeah, he said, what is it, a T-shirt? Right?
I don't know if it was like that.
You told me, he said, Rogan asked him, what is it, a T-shirt? And he said, no, it's an MP3 player with a podcast. And then Rogan said, I don't want it.
Yeah, well, you got to think of it in Rogan's eyes. He's probably getting a fucking million of these things.
Right.
He has no time, and it's just not.
Yeah.
Why even get?
And I totally respect Bert for fucking even.
Yeah, Bert fucking
that,
did what
I can't believe
he said
he did that. I thought that should. I joke around about giving back my MP3 player, dude. But Bert, I fucking appreciated that you even tried, man. That just shows what a stand-up guy you are. But you know what? That's the luck of the draw, man. You know what? The universe is so fucking random. The fact that I even got that close, or even the fact that I made it on iTunes the first time. Is right. To me,
I can say kind of like the same stuff with Bonafide Hustler on YouTube. I'm starting to get kind of or relatively or pretty big in the picker community. And when somebody goes behind the scenes to my Facebook and starts asking me repeatedly, like, "Hey, I need to know about this. Here's this. Oh, great show last night," and they start and I start realizing that name over and over.
Yeah,
I shout them out like left and right. I'm like, this motherfucker cares about hustling and wants to make money. Those are the kind of people you like. So it's good to stay in the game. I think what Metalhead was saying is like, go after it. And if you get shot down, fucking go after it again. And if you get shot down, fucking go after it again.